Hello and welcome to this video series where we're going to be taking a look at building foliage for games. So in these first videos we're going to be taking a look at building our own tree. Now the reason you will want to do this is even though we have things like speed tree to procedurally generate trees or different types of foliage, there may be a point where you want to create something a little bit more customizable or a little bit more stylized, and in order to do that it's good to know, to understand the process of going through that. So we're going to be building just a standard tree, but hopefully by the end of this series you should have the knowledge to go ahead and build your own custom assets. So we're going to start by just building the leaf. So I'm going to press the Alt and W key, and this will bring me into the perspective mode. I'm going to press the F key to go into the front view. I'm going to create a plane, and let's just create a plane, and I'm going to go to the modify. I'm going to set the length and width segments down to 0. I'm going to right click the XYZ along the bottom here, and this will reset to the center of the world. I'm going to press the G key to remove the grid. I'm going to press the M key to bring up the materials editor. Then from here I'm going to go down to where it says diffuse, and then next to the little color swatch I'm going to check the little box next to that, and this was going to bring up the materials we can choose, and I'm going to go ahead and choose bitmap, and I have an image on my desktop, and foliage for games, references, and leaf. So this is the leaf we're going to be creating. This is a reference image that I'm going to be using, or these two are going to be reference images to the overall branches. Anyway, I'm going to press open, and this will open up the texture. Press OK. Now this texture is fairly square, so I'm going to go with, I'm going to try 100 by 100. Then I'm going to press the assign material to selection, and then show selected in viewport, and this will bring up the leaf here. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to be modeling this leaf. The reason we're doing that is we're going to be baking this down to a final texture. So the poly count for the leaf and branches in the beginning is not so much important. So the way we're going to do that is we're going to go ahead and usually you may just, if you have like a standard overall leaf, it's going to be pretty simple. In this case we actually want to go for detail, so we're actually going to model this using the planar modeling method, and then we'll add turbo smooth and map this on, and then we'll be done with this. So I'm going to go ahead and choose plane, and we're going to model this completely, making sure we don't, I should say we're not going to be using symmetry. We want to keep this as organic as possible. So let's begin up in the top here and create a plane, and I'm going to go ahead and under modify I'm going to set the width segments to 1. Okay, and I'm going to press the top view, and I'm just going to pull this off the plane so it's not contacting the reference image yet. I'm going to go ahead and press the M key to bring up the materials editor, and I want to set up a new material so we can see what's going on. So I'm going to select an empty slot, and with that selected I'm going to press the N key, which will bring up the animation, and I'm going to right click the animation timeline scale. I'm going to set this to 2. That's okay. And here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to move this timeline. Let me just scale this down so we can see. I'm going to move this timeline to 2, and I'm going to right click the opacity, and then if I press the N key again, if we look at the material you can see we can move through the different transparent modes. So I'm going to select our image here, the plane, sorry. I'm going to assign this, and so now we can work with this transparent mode, which will make things much easier. So I'm going to right click, convert this to editable poly, and I'm going to go ahead and start to model this leaf. So I'm going to select the edges and move this up. And scale these down. And this doesn't have to be too neat actually, because we're just going to map the texture on here, so it's just got to look close enough that we can get away with, so we can get away with some of the textures or applying the texture detail. So let's just quickly go ahead and start to move these into place. Okay, so at this point I'm gonna split these off, and I'm just going to use the W and the Q key to quickly move these around. So we got the E key, which will go to rotate, and then the W key, which will go back to the move. So let's just quickly move these around, get these into position. And for here, we're going to go just once, and then select this, and just continue along the side here. So this is I think this is pretty easy, so this shouldn't really take too long. I'm going to let's see, we've got this part here. I'm actually just going to go, yeah, we'll add this in. But we're not going to go too crazy here, just a little bit. You can actually go as far as you want with this. You can actually take it to the extreme point and make this ultra detailed. So I'm just going to skip out some areas. I'm not really too bothered. We'll just fix it in the texture. Okay, so let's move this here and here. And I'm just going to pull this in and extrude this. We'll go 1 and 2. And let's just move these vertex in. And we can go ahead and let's extrude this, and let's take this and this, and we're going to go ahead and choose collapse and bring those in as one piece. That should be fine. And all we're doing is just working our way around here. So I think it's just going to be a good idea here just to scale this in like this. Let's set this vertex. There we go. Let's see how far we are. So we're about part of the way done. And so the reason we're doing this instead of just turn this into an alpha plane is because we want to be able to add bend and twist and just different modifiers on top of this. So when we duplicate this leaf, we can have variants of this, and then when we produce the normal map itself, we'll actually get some differences in the leaf, and it will just add to the overall realism instead of just having basically just flat leaves. So this is the reason why we're taking time here to do this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause the video, continue to do this, and we'll be back once this is done. Okay, so we are back here. I have the outline of the leaf. The next thing I'm going to do is just go ahead and start to join all these pieces together. So for this, I'm just going to start selecting some of these pieces like this, and then just target welding them like this. So I'll do a few now, and then I'll pause the video and I'll go ahead and do the rest, as this will be time consuming. So let's just do a few of these. 1 and 2, and let's just go ahead and target weld this to here and here to here. So now let's take these. Let's go 1, 2, and 3. So I just want to line these ones up here, and I'm going to choose to collapse, collapse, and collapse. And then we're going to go ahead and collapse these, and let's target weld from here to here and here to here. So this is all I'm going to do all the way through. I'm going to pause the video and we will be back once we have completed all this. Hey, what's up? We're back, and I have completed the leaf. Just this last piece here I haven't completed, it's just the stem. So I'm just going to quickly do this on the camera here. So all I got to do is just simply pull this down here, and we are almost done for the leaf. So let's just scale this a little. There we go. So I just want to make sure that everything is nice and flat. So I'm going to select all polygons and I'm going to flatten this in Z. There we go. And let's just bring these back up. So here you can see we have our leaf shape, and what we want to do is we want to select this, and I'm just going to reset the pivot to the center, and that's we're going to move that layer anyway. So once we've done that, I'm going to go to unwrap UVW, and I'm going to press open, and what we want to use for this, let's just exit this, is this texture here. So let's assign this, oops, this one, and let's, should we viewport? And you can see it's not showing up. Let's have a look why. Let's go over here, let's choose pick texture, and let's go ahead and choose the leaf. Okay, so what we need to do is we need to select it all, and we're going to go to, we're going to scroll along the side here, we're going to choose normalize map, I'm going to choose planar, and I think it's going to be Y. There we go, so select a Y. And all we're going to do is scale this down so it fits this. So this should be pretty close straight away, because we had already mapped or scaled this accordingly. So you see it's pretty close. We just need to do a little bit of cleanup here to make this better match. So all we have to do is, well, let's just have a look at this. I'm just going to create some pixels around the edge, make sure this is not okay. So let's just move this piece in on here so we don't get any of that white, and we'll leave a few pixels along the edge. It should be fine. Okay, so here's our leaf. We can go ahead and convert this to an edgeable poly. We're going to go ahead and add a shell. Let's choose shell, and let's have a thickness of, okay, 1 should be fine. And then we can go to turbo smooth, and let's decrease that shell here. Let's do this about maybe around 0.5 ish, or maybe even 0.2, 0.3. Let's see, 0.3 might be good. So we have our leaf. Edge. Now what we want to do is we want to take this very end point, and we're going to convert this to a poly, and we're going to push this all the way down, like so. Let's just scale this out a little, and we can turbo smooth that, and there we go. We have our leaf, and it is ready to use. So the last thing we want to do with this is we want to duplicate this a few times. So first of all, let's add a FFD 4x4, and then let's go ahead and duplicate this a few times. So I'm going to do 3. And what you want to do on each one of these is you want to take the FFD control points like this and just start to move these around on each one. And the reason we're doing this is when we bake these down, we want to be able to see the normal information as well as a bunch of other stuff in different directions. So we can also use the FFD to reshape some of this, so we can just give these a slight difference in texture, and we can just select some of these, a few of these random ones, and just pull these around like this, so we just get different shapes. And for this one, we'll just take the center and just give that a slight indent. There we go. So we have these 4 different leaves, and you can see that they're all shaped differently. Okay. So yeah, no, that's it. So in the next video, we're going to build our branch, and then we'll continue to place all this together. So with this done, thank you for watching, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.